Welcome back to Learn to Ride. Today we're going to be going over bike controls and some of the common myths and mistakes new riders make. So, general rule of thumb is that no matter the size or capacity of the bike, the controls are generally the same, between be it a 125, 250, all the way up to sort of big 1200s, 1500s. Based on that, let's have a look over the controls of the bikes themselves. Starting with the basic controls of the motorbike. First of all, on the handlebars, we have, on the right-hand side, the accelerator. Nice hand grip, roll on, to make the bike accelerate and move forwards. Nice, gentle roll off to bring the bike to a slow down and stop. The accelerator does have a spring load mechanism. It's for safety only, in case you find yourself horizontal or the accelerator needs to come off straight away. On the same side at the front, we have the front brake lever. Okay, operates with 4 fingers, pulling in gently. Moving over to the left, we have simply handlebar, and then connected to that, the clutch. Okay, moving down towards the left-hand side by your foot. Obviously, you've got your clutch here. So this lever here, footrest, and then you've got your gear lever here. And your gear lever will be operated, one press down for first gear, foot under and a hard pull up will find second, up third, up fourth, up fifth, and obviously if a bike has a 6th gear, up again for 6th. To get back down the gearbox, quite simply in the same motion, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To find neutral, it sits in between first and second gear. If you imagine first, second, third, fourth and fifth, neutral will sit here. So it's just a little half click up and that will find neutral for you. If you go too hard, little half click down from second gear. Okay. Moving around onto the other side of the bike, you have a similar foot peg again, and then a rear brake device. Once again, foot on, little foot operated pedal to just operate the lever up and down for you. Okay, they are the basic motorcycle controls: throttle, front brake, simple handle, clutch, gears, and the rear brake down here. But as these are road going motorcycles, we do have what we call switchgear. Okay, so operating on the side, we have a big red button here, the kill switch. Some bikes you're able to operate the kill switch to turn the bike on and off with. Older bikes may not, and that's where you simply turn off via the key and you'd use it for emergency only. Below that, little switch with a lightning strike through, that will be an electronic start button. Moving to the left-hand side handlebar, on this particular bike at the front, we have a yellow button with the word pass on it. It's actually your flashlight of your main beam headlight. Then we have a large black dial here with 2 settings. That will be for your dipped beam and then your main beam headlight. Okay, unlike a car, you will switch off via your thumb. Working just below that, you have your indicator switch. 1 click to the left puts your left indicator on. 1 click to the right puts your right indicator on. And unlike in a car, they will not self-cancel. So you need to press the switch into the middle and click in. It is a push to cancel button. And underneath you have the horn. Okay, and those are your basic motorcycle controls. So operating the stand and getting on and off your motorcycle. Here is your side stand. Okay, this particular bike only has a side stand. We don't have a center stand operation. The best practice for getting on and off the bike is to leave the center stand located on the floor, because all the weight of the motorcycle as you bring the right leg over is on the bike, keeping you nice and secure. Bring yourself over gently, sit yourself down on the seat, get yourself comfortable with your left leg and both hands on the bars, gently push the bike up so you've got both feet down. At that point you can cover the front brake so the bike doesn't roll anywhere, and gently kick the side stand back. Good practice, once you're a little bit more experienced, is to then bring the right foot up and gently cover the back brake, and we call this the safety position. Okay, you've got both full control of the bars, left leg on the floor, right leg up covering the rear brake. When you want to get off the bike, you simply reverse the process. So go back to covering the front brake, right foot down nice and secure, couple of different ways to do this. You can look over your shoulder on larger bikes. On this particular bike, I find it easy to look under my armpit, use my heel to locate the pin on the stand, and gently bring the stand down. Before committing to putting the bike on the stand, give the stand a little tap, because all of that mechanism there can get caught up with dirt, muck, and actually stick, and that way you know it's fully forwards. Gently lean the bike onto the stand, climb off, and then as you watch as I turn the bars, the centre stand will do a slight hop as all the weight has transferred to keep the bike as most stable as possible on that centre stand when you park the bike up. So, some common sort of mistakes that new riders make and myths are that you can use 2 fingers on the front brake, the way that clutches work, things like that. So let's debunk a couple of those. When we're using the front brake, best practice is always to use 4 fingers. By using 2 fingers, I can still keep the throttle wound on. When I bring my little finger over to use all 4, the throttle naturally comes off. So it's always best practice to use 4 fingers on the brake, and you can actually get a little bit more braking force that way as well. Hand positioning when using a clutch is often a common thing that we try and fix from the start. A lot of students feel the need to roll their hand forward and get the best grip possible. The better practice is to roll your hand back so you've got a nice level wrist, same with on the accelerator, and use your fingertips with your fingers lightly tucked under so that you've got more movement within the clutch, therefore giving you more control. Another problem and common mistake that we have is foot positioning. So, when we get on a bike, we should always approach from the left-hand side. A lot of students will rest their foot on top of the gear lever, making it very difficult to work out where to move their foot to change gear. Whereas when they get on, the left foot should come under and just rest. So it's always ready to come up or conveniently come over and press down, staying in a very similar position. Same with their rear brake foot. They tend to bring their foot too far forwards, creating too much of a pressure point on the back brake, because if they move their foot back, you get a little bit more of an angle and more leverage on the bike. Which bit about riding a bike for the first time did you find most confusing? Was it the clutch control? Was it using the brakes? Was it balancing a throttle? Or was it all things combined? Let us know in the comments and we'll go from there. That's your first steps of getting onto a motorbike sorted. Next episode, we're going to break down the CBT process in its entirety. So we look forward to seeing you then.